we love disc golf and we want to get better at disc golf. So here's local pro player Nick Anderson to teach us how to throw 500-foot buttery smooth forehands.
Yeah, hey guys, Nick Anderson here, PDGA 53889. We're just gonna go over some forehand tips and see if we can get some more distance. All right, first off, we're gonna talk about grip. I'm kind of biased, I only use one grip really, and that's the power grip. You see a lot of people use 2 fingers or 1 finger kind of stacked. The reason why I use power grip is it's a little more stable. I can hold my angle really well. I have it pressed against my forefinger right here. That's really important. And then for the bottom, I like setting the rim of the disc right on this knuckle. I don't know if you can see. So I put it right on the knuckle and then really dig in. And that gives nice stability. I can have whatever angle I want. It's not gonna move, you know? And it gives me really nice snap as long as I cock my wrist at the end. And then it follows through really nicely. Next, this one took me a little while to kind of get comfortable with. That's your run up or your walk up. You see a lot of people, they do kind of a crow hop, and I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's excess energy and it's not precise enough. So I like a nice smooth walk up, and I try to make sure that everything is smooth when I'm throwing. So I don't get a lot of speed, and I just walk up really casually, and that's all it is. But that's really comfortable for me. That's the key. Just 1-2 step and let everything come through. When you do the kind of crow hop, there's just a lot of extra movement. I feel like you can swoop really easy, and that will have you throwing hyzers. You don't want that in a forehand. Like, you want it nice and controlled and try and flat as possible. All right, then I want to touch on angle control a little bit. Actually, Ezra Aderhold did this a while ago. He only throws with nice, like, slight hyzers. He doesn't change, he just changes the disc more or less, if that makes sense. So he always throws the same angle for most of his shots. I try to do that with forehand as well. For the first 2 years, I would only throw with a slight hyzer, and I would just change the disc. I would make sure my form and everything is the same, but I would just change the disc. The disc would do the work. And doing that, you're reducing the variables in your throw, right? If I try to throw an anhyzer and I turn my wrist, that's a lot more you have to keep track of, right? If I just throw my hyzer angle, but with a less stable disc, the disc will do the work when it comes out of my hand. You just keep it the same every time and let the disc do the work.
Do you have any mental cues or certain things that you're focusing on or kind of thinking about as you're about to throw?
Okay, yeah. Mental cues and kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm throwing. For forehand, I really just try to be as smooth as possible. Smooth will be far. When you try to really throw the disc hard and far, you're gonna mess up in some form. So I just try, when I'm on the tee, just think of nice and smooth. Smooth and everything coming forward, you're gonna have a good throw. You're not gonna have extra variables messing up your cues and what you're doing.
Is there any certain thing as far as aim point or where you're trying to release the disc?
Yeah, so my initial thoughts is just looking at the basket. Once I kind of know the basket, where it's at, I just focus on smooth and everything going forward towards the basket. That's kind of my aim point. You know, if it lands close, then that's great. If it doesn't, you got to make a putt. That's kind of just how golf is. But everything's smooth and everything is coming forward towards the target. That's the whole idea. Aim point is just forward and at the basket.
Do you have any advice for players that maybe can throw, say, about 300 to 350 feet maximum on how they might get to that next level?
Yeah, so honestly, I would really narrow it down to footwork. When I started throwing a bit farther for forehand, I stopped a fast run up and I literally just went with that smooth, nice and easy. Your footwork is very important. And then, of course, maybe try throwing a little less stable of a disc. Just toning things down, going smoother, and just trying to get your angles right. That alone, I think, will start increasing your distance.
Do you want to talk about your main disc selection for max distance throws?
Yeah. So for max distance, max distance, I'd be throwing Halo Shrike or a Innova Charger. And then for a little bit less would be a finish line interval. And the whole reason behind this is they just have a little bit different stability, each of them. So with the finish line interval, I can throw that the same angle I was telling you about, and the stability will just make it hyzer. And then when I want to increase distance after that, I throw the same angle, but with something a little less stable. So that would be like a Shrike, and it would pop up and it would glide a lot more. And then for, I think my max distance I've had was with this Charger. And this one is a G-Star, so it's a little less stable. So I can really get into it on the same angle. It will pop up and it will ride the entire S-Flight. And that's kind of the idea behind just getting more distance, is getting comfortable with the stabilities, and you just know how to throw your angles.
So want to thank Nick. Thank you so much for the information and the guidance. You know, as disc golfers, it's hard to get better. So getting this type of information and guidance on specifically max forehand distance is gold.
Yep.
So thank you, Nick.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to Finish Line Discs, Triple Play Records, Ace Fly Dyes, and Upper Park. Thank you for the sponsorships this year. Well, little. Ah, the slip! Go, baby, go! Not bad. Put some mustard on that one.